Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. You don't have to be into basketball to get into March Madness. You know why? Because at PhoneDog, it's the March Madness of dogfights. What's up? It's the PhoneDog dogfight between the LG Dare for Verizon and the LG Versa for Verizon. An old favorite and a new favorite. What's going on, everybody? You know, I'm a basketball fan. Doesn't matter. If you're into basketball, great. If you're not, great. If you're into phones, you're in the right place. The LG Dare, very popular, one of my favorite LG Verizon phones, definitely. VCast touchscreen phone, 3.2 megapixel camera, it's got the VCast music, the VCast video, touchscreen, all that good stuff. And then the brand new LG Versa. And, you know, LG made a point. I talked to a couple people at LG, PR people, design people. They made a point of saying to me, it's not a successor to the Dare, it's not a follow-up, it's just its own thing. The model number actually 100 less than the Dare if you look at those things. So don't look at it as a successor, it's its own deal. But you know, kind of hard not to compare. Another touchscreen phone, but then it's got this modular docking system. You can see right here, you know, you take the keyboard off. I don't even remember, how does this thing work? I don't remember how it works. There it is on the front here. You take the keyboard off, you can snap the phone out of this keyboard case, and you can put, you know, the keyboard separate. You can put just a regular backplate on it. Here's the backplate. There's a gaming pad coming out, apparently, possibly some other things coming out. So you can use it just as a regular touchscreen phone. And in this mode, again, it's not officially a successor to the Dare, but it looks an awful lot like it, right? So dogfight, which one should you get? Dare, Versa? Let's take a look. Alright, so here they are side by side. The Dare and the Versa, and then the Versa QWERTY board that the phone comes with. We'll take the QWERTY board out of the equation for a second, and just look at the two devices, the Dare on the left, the Versa on the right. Like I said, you know, you can see they're very similar in terms of form factor. The uninitiated, the non, you know, cell phone junkie Verizon enthusiast would probably look at these two and on first glance think they were the same phone. Now, when you look a little bit more closely, you can see, you know, a few I don't want to say obvious differences, but differences that'll be obvious if you're a cell phone enthusiast. You know who you are. First off is that the Versa has a narrower and slightly longer display. It's really just kind of a hair longer, just a titch longer, as my mom would say, but noticeably narrower than Dare. And so the phone overall winds up being a bit narrower, has a narrower footprint. And I actually, you know, to me this is too bad because I actually think the Dare is a really nice shape and size, and the display is large enough to make web browsing and that kind of stuff a little bit easier. On the Versa, the form factor, you know, I mean, the hand feel of the form factor is great. It feels great in hand, it's easy to use and everything, it's comfortable. But when you get into web browsing in particular, some issues with the touchscreen, which I think could be at least helped a little bit by just a slightly larger size. The other two big differences hardware-wise are the Dare has a 3.5mm headphone jack on top here. As I mentioned, standard issue with the little rubber cap. I've used the phone, you know, as an MP3 player plugged into headphones or even plugged into a stereo system, and it works quite well. The Versa has a 2.5mm jack, which I'm not really sure why. In this day and age, 2.5mm used to be standard for cell phones. Now it's not really. 3.5 is because of all the media players on the phones now. So I don't know why they decided to put a 2.5 in there, but you can. It's stereo, so you can get an adapter to use 3.5mm headphones with it, or you can go stereo Bluetooth. And then the other difference, big difference hardware-wise, is the camera. The Dare on top here with the 3.2 megapixel Schneider Kreuznach autofocus flash. The Versa steps it down a little bit to the 2 megapixel with flash. So, you know, again, not a huge difference in terms of actual picture quality and everything, but the Dare, a little bit better, I think. And then when you get into the phone, the biggest difference is really in terms of the software, not so much in terms of features, because they both do full HTML browsing, they both do media player with audio and video, you know, the VCast services, all that kind of stuff. But the Dare, I thought, had a pretty cool user interface here with icons that you can kind of move around the screen to customize a little bit, and then your little shortcut menu. That's not what I want to get to. I got to move the pictures out of the way there so I can get to it. there you go, your little shortcut menu that you can customize and everything. And really pretty nice, pretty easy to use, and kind of multiple layers of shortcuts and customization. Kind of cool. The Versa takes it even a step further, and now you've got 3 full-on screens here in this spinning cube format. So you can have shortcuts for your media, your just regular shortcuts, and your favorites. And then you can drill down another level to the main menu. And this is one of the options if you look in the unboxing video I talked about this, or I'm sorry, the review video. The smart menu system, which lets you, it's kind of Zune-esque, it lets you drill down according to submenus. So if I hit create, I'll then get a bunch of submenus relative to create, and then I can go back and I can do connect instead. And these scroll as need be. I don't know, get to one that has that many choices. But so the software on Versa I think is terrific, and I really like the menu system. It's pretty snappy, as you can see here, no real lag, works really well. So just in terms of it's interesting because like I said, I talked to LG and they said straight up the Versa is not a successor to the Dare. It's not meant to be. The model number actually 100 less. It's the VX 9600, whereas the Dare was the 9700. But it's hard not to compare the two, and in using them I almost wish that I could take the Versa software and put it onto the Dare, because I kind of like the Dare form factor. I think the touchscreen's a little bit more responsive, but then the Versa software just a little bit snappier. We'll check out the web browser here.